Hello again, and welcome to this week's girls basketball edition of The Court Report. I'm Keith Schweigert alongside LMP sports writer Tim Gross, and we're getting you caught up on all the happenings in the Lancaster-Lebanon League. Tim, the Yellow League tournament is coming up next week, and the bracket's pretty much in place, but there's still one section title left to be decided. Tell us about that one.
Yeah, Eton and Ephrata, it's coming down to the last game. Ephrata has a one-game lead going into the final league games on Tuesday. Ephrata goes to Solanco. Eton goes to Conestoga Valley. If Ephrata wins, they wrap up the section. It's their first section title since 2013. If Solanco beats Ephrata and Eton can beat Conestoga Valley, they'll have a first place tie for Section 2, and they'll play a one-game playoff to decide the section champion. Just a little background on both teams. They played these teams before. Ephrata beat Solanco 51-33. Eton beat Conestoga Valley 42-40. So if everything plays out the way it did earlier this season, then Ephrata will be moving on as the Section 2 champion. And that's a big deal because Section 2 plays Section 4 in the first round of leagues, and there's a big difference between going to Lancaster Catholic and hosting Lebanon Catholic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not that Lebanon Catholic's a bad team. They're a solid team in their own right, but I think there's a big difference between having that home game and having to go to Lancaster Catholic.
Absolutely. And in the other three section races, the titles have been figured out, the playoff berths have been decided. Any surprises there, though?
I think Northern Lebanon winning Section 3 is a big surprise. Not because of that, not that they won it, but how they did it, going 14-1 in the league and 21 overall. They beat Cocalico twice, especially going to Cocalico earlier in the season and getting that big win. I think that was a big momentum booster for them. And Section 3, not that bad overall. I mean, Cocalico, for them to beat Cocalico twice is a big deal. And Elko and Lampeter Strasburg also decent teams. And for Northern Lebanon to have the run that they have going through them and sweeping them is a big surprise. The other one is Manheim Township in Section 1. Again, not that they made it, but how they did it. They started 0-4, and I'm not sure how many teams start 0-4 overall and end up making the league playoffs. So something really clicked for them after they lost their first league game against Lebanon. They went on kind of a run after that and wrapped up the section, and to do it after what was a rebuilding year last year, at least on the relative scale of being Manheim Township and having a pretty pedestrian year last year.
Mm-hmm. So we have 8 teams that are making the league playoffs. Of the ones that didn't get in, they can start looking ahead to the District 3 playoffs, which start with the preliminary rounds all the way on February 12th. And of course, we still have a few final regular season games this week. Tell us about some of those.
Well, Lebanon Catholic plays West Shore Christian. That's kind of a single A district preview. Of course, Lebanon Catholic's got the single A first seed pretty much wrapped up. So it'll be good for them to play another team in their class because they played so many teams, in the Lancaster-Lebanon League who are in higher classes and getting that experience. So for them to play kind of more on their level and see where they are, that'll be a big one.
Okay. And obviously we're going to have more in the Lancaster-Lebanon League tournament, but we'll save that for next week. So thank you, Tim. And thank you for joining us. We'll be back here next week. See you then.